Hello there, welcome back to Nagaur. Last time, well, I was planning forwards, and today we're going to try and actually fulfill some of my plans. And the way that we're going to do that is, of course, by... Yeah, these guys are actually... This could actually work to my advantage again, because right now they do have... They are in a very, well, weird situation per se with Jumper. The only real issue here is how many troops can Omen field. So let's just check that right away. Let's see, Omen. Again, I should probably just go after alphabetically in this area. So if you're currently fielding 9,000 men, which means that my 8,000 are going to be in a very awkward situation here. But we are going to build 8,000, or not 8,000 cogs, but we're going to build 8 ships, so I can actually transport my troops where I want them to be. So we'll have to consider if we'll actually go to war here and drag Jumper in with it, but I'm pretty sure that Patiala and Meva should be, to some degree, capable of handling such a situation should it arise. So we'll have to see how that turns out, but for now we'll fabricate our claim on Omen, and once it's done we'll consider if we want a war there, or if we want to, for instance, go as, well, the earlier plan was just to go after the Timurids, take Baluchistan, take the 4 provinces of Baluchistan, take these 4, as I said, and then just grab, for instance, Balm here, or Hormuz, or whatever, to get a Persian province and start working from there. Of course, Karakonya will have to go down because they do hold some Persian provinces. This one I'm pretty sure is Persian. This one is Persian, etc. So I can of course use this to my advantage. Breaking Kara will definitely be on my list of things to do. The problem, of course, is that Kara is really good, or they are really strong apparently in this game due to the fact they have vassalized this entire area. I have no idea what this blue is. It would actually be very interesting to figure it out, but I'd expect it's Imereti or something like that. And again, I'm also very tempted to try and get myself in a position here where I can actually well, get an alliance, for instance, with the Ottomans in the future. As you can see, we're far too far away to get anything from the Mamluks, mostly due to the fact the distance between borders, and also the fact that they don't really care about us. So we will have to deal with that as we go, but for now that is our biggest concern. Also, of course, if we end up in a war with Omen, we need to have a fleet that can actually safely get across, and right now we just don't have that. It's definitely going to be a pain no matter how we choose to try and do this, and of course that's a major concern. But again, for now I'll just sit by, I'll see what we do. I might just go for, as I said here, a war straight away, and just well, allow, in this case, Kara to wing it. Could work. But again, I really want to just declare war on Baluchistan again, because it's just simpler. It's easier to Timurids will call in their allies anyways, but apparently Kara don't really care too much about that. So I can either wait for my king to die to save some points, or take the hit now and just live with it. Those are basically my 2 options at the moment, and as such I think we will just try and wait a little bit. Protect against Gujarat, mission complete. Didn't actually try. Insult Delhi, get some military power. I'll do that any day. And again here, I think I might be playing it a little bit too carefully, but I've been messing around with more around with Ryuka lately, and the only thing that's really messed me up there is so far getting too aggressive, but it's mostly due to the fact that I don't pay too much attention. I guess we can take Protect against Delhi. Worst case scenario, they'll do that for us. Military Tax 6, the Arquebus. Military Tax was 0.25, combat width by 2, infantry shock by 0.3, and I get a new type of horses, Indian Cavalry Archers. And again, we basically just catching up here with everyone else. Again, this is also another thing that's kind of weird. I want Karakonya to catch up on military, but they do have terrible military potential here. As you can see, a 0, 2. They they aren't really a military power, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm currently holding out and not declaring war on the Timurids. I don't want to piss them or create a problem here, where basically I can't get, well, I can't win because Karakonlu can't fight efficiently enough. Right now, of course, the Timurids are actually in second place, so Karakonlu needs these guys. We have. I don't think we can win against the Timurids right now in a good manner. So I think I might have to just piss off the rest of India, try and do some conquest here. But I definitely should have just gone for. I definitely should just have gone for the exploration. Ideas rather than influence. I think it would have been a lot safer. The only real issue, of course, is that I believe the new setup to westernization means that if you do go around here, you'll have to get pretty far north, because the provinces that you colonize, the Europeans will put them under a trade colony or something like that, and you cannot westernize by being next to them, I believe. So you'd basically most likely end up in trouble. So the game itself starts to become a little bit too restricted for me, to be perfectly honest. There's too many things that doesn't make it as fun as it was. But it's going to be interesting to see how I pull this off, if I pull it off. But we'll have to consider here Gujarat, Delhi and Baluchistan. So we should probably go after these guys. They're actually allied with Baluchistan, which is positive, because if I do this, as you can see, Jampur will not join right now. But Manis, they're not a powerful, situation right now. They have a base tax of 8, 13, 16, 20, 23. It's a little bit too much to vassalize, actually, and that's kind of annoying because they do have a lot of cores. So I'm really tempted here to just go ahead, declare war, and allow Bamanis and Gujarat to call in both of their allies. Because if I can vassalize both of these in a single war, even if I get a coalition against me, I can just keep on feeding them. Gujarat not really can be fed, but you get the idea. It's just growing them as soon and as easily as I can. And again, if this war with Jampur and everyone just keeps on raging, then I can definitely pull something off here. And the best thing with this is I can actually call Baluchistan in as a co-belligerent. I can just annex them right out. So this is great. It's going to be a gamble because I won't get any of my allies into this. I can most likely call in Bengal later, but right now we stand alone, and it's not the best scenario to fight in either. I'm tempted to make a general out of my ruler because he's old and all that. 5 shock, that is wonderful. Let's see, how am I in composition? We'll add 1 archer and 1 regular troop. We'll basically just join up the army, fight these guys, and then we'll consider what to do. But I am hoping that again, Bamanis and Gujarat can be handled by Patiala and Mevar. So it's not a plan that I would hope for, but it's a plan that will most likely work, and I can live with that. This also means that if I actually vassalize both of these, Mevar will then lose its purpose. So they're definitely going to be annexed, and that is why I started to improve relations with them rather than doing anything else. There we go, protecting against Delhi. Wasn't actually difficult at all. And we get a mission to insult Baluchistan, so let's just insult and then declare war to, add to the pain, if you will. And again, it's kind of a risky move here. I can trigger, worst case scenario, a coalition that will curb on my ass, but I'm hoping that won't be the case. So we'll join up our armies. We'll prepare for battle. Save the Rajput people in Mevat. Do I want to do that? Where is Mevat? There we go. There's Mevat. I might as well just take that mission. And the reason why is fairly simple. If Jampur gets really, really weakened during this war, then I can just declare war on Jampur afterwards. And Bamanis and Gujarat out of it, getting Oman in, can just send a fleet there to grab them easily. It seems like, in terms of conquering India at least, that all of the pieces are falling into place here. So for now, let's just go ahead, declare war. Goal would be to well, take Kathiawar. We'll see how this works out. But again, I'm very much reliant on my vassals doing most of the work, doing most of the heavy lifting. Let's see how my army does against Baluchistan here. Straight out crushing, thanks to that really high shock modifier. It's a really powerful thing to have too, that amount of shock. And I need to actually put him here, because if not, we might lose to these rebels that decided to walk home. But I'm basically just using other people's walls here to my advantage. For now, I'll just keep an eye on what's happening, but as you can see, the enemy doesn't really have too much. I was about to say, then I regret my words. We're actually about equal. So I definitely need these two to stick together to actually make things work here. I'll take the mercantilism rather than Timrid opinion, if you will. So there we go. Jampur is back with the military alliance, which means that I could potentially join. Timrid left the military coalition. What is this? They still hate my guts though. So the royal marriage broke. Wonderful. That means that I have one less diplomatic relation to worry about. Again, the goal will be to annex Baluchistan. It's just straightforward, easy. It's Muslim land. It is the right religion. It will help grow myself. And apparently, if Bengal actually comes and, yeah, as you can see there, crushes our enemies here, as you can see, Delhi and Malwa is actually doing most of the dirty work for me right now. That is also really, really wonderful. And again, I'll probably vassal feed mostly here to make sure that I do grow in power. But for now, I'll allow the sieges to just go on their own. If anything interesting happens, I'll show you. Well, this is new. The Sikh faith. Saint Saga is situated on the border between adherents of Hinduism and Islam. In this area marked by religious tension and differences, a man named Nanak has started to preach that there is no Hindu or Muslim, but that the truth is with God, who is neither. Although his rejection of ancient customs has outraged devoted Sunni believers, Nanak's disregard for caste and creed has allowed his teachings to take root among the population. His disciples are known as Sikhs and are spreading this new faith rapidly throughout Sindh Sagar. We'll need to talk to this Nanak about his Sunni faith. So Sikh is now enabled, apparently a new religion, or in the game at least, and I actually get a religious center in Sindh Sagar. Local mission is strength -5. Now this is actually interesting. It seems like they have made a, well, Hindu Reformation, which is, well, interestingly enough, but it doesn't seem like it will actually spread. It would be hilarious to actually change this though, because it would just be interesting. But we don't really have too much of a concern with this, because again, religious unity, not a big issue for us. Now, what kind of benefits does? Oh, well, morale of armies and technology cost, very, very powerful. Might consider that. But as you can see, I have sieged 3 of Baluchistan's provinces. We're currently moving on to Gujarat, just helping out here. And otherwise, things are just going very, very well. Well, I was a little bit quick on trigger there. As you can see, we got a new idea, state propaganda. It's really, really powerful. Aggressive expansion impact -20%. So, conquer more. For, well, same price. Could say that. Of course, that will be really useful. It will make sure that people in mostly Europe and densely populated areas won't go haywire on us. Hopefully here, if you will. So, as you can see, Gujarat, the armies are slowly but surely being decimated here, and I'm not the one doing the decimation. I'm just sitting back here with my vassals and laughing. That's basically the gist of it. So, again, for the time here, I think I'll take the privilege of just sitting back. But again, rebels here are actually starting to become a major concern. They actually took good, and again here, Jampur now has been, they've been thoroughly cut down. I can definitely use this to my advantage. Go after Mewat here. It's just a one base tax province, but it helps my borders. And of course, Delhi is definitely also targeted. They only have 4 provinces, but their base tax is incredibly high. They're 7, 12, 19, 27. So it's a really powerful situation here for Delhi. They also do have cores on well, Patiani. So I might have to reconsider what I'll do. But for now, we'll just keep the war with we could get going. We'll continue next time. And as you can see here, Balochistan is about to fall. We're going to go for straight up annexation. And if I'm lucky, I might actually be capable of doing, as I said, vassalize Bamanis and pull everything as I want here. The main problem is, of course, that I need Bengal on my side when I'm going to start shit. And I can't find Delhi and Malwa and Bengal. That's just going to be too much. So I need to break this triple alliance for me to really, well, grow Bamanis again. Bamanis does still have a ton of cores, Vinagya, for instance. So with this, we're definitely going to be finding Vinagya probably first, just to gather up the cores. Vinagya doesn't actually have any allies at all, which makes them the perfect target, and they are being, they're just being torn apart. I'm really amazed at how that is going. It's just too much to fathom. I can't really understand what is going on with Vinagya. They're usually rather powerful. But we'll continue this next time. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.